What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. Alright, so we have to do this a little bit differently for our how-to builds, because they have not actually been data downloaded into the game yet. So I do not have the Dokkan info page to be able to run off of and really show you guys how I'm going to build them that way. So what we're going to do is actually use the tweets posted by Dokkan itself to kind of build the kits around these units. But we're going to start with the BROLY. So for my hidden potential for the BROLY, I'm looking at him because he's a powerhouse, like straight up powerhouse, offensive. He's realistically an offensive tank. If you know his kit at all, he's an offensive tank. But I'll dive into what he is a little bit, and then we'll really cover what I think we should do with him. So he's an extreme tech type. Movie boss is key 3, 200%. Pretty good stats across the board. Really high health, really high HP. Somewhat lower defense, but that kind of makes up for it. You'll see why later. And his passive is called Surge of Emotions. He has no super attack. He is unable to attack, activates the entrance animation upon the character's entry once only. And from that character's turn, he reduces damage received as the first attacker in the turn for 1 turn by 90%, and reduces it by 70% for the second and third attacker in the turn for just that first turn. And extreme class allies get a key 3, or I'm sorry, extreme class allies' chance of performing a crit goes up by 50% with him in slot 1, and in slot 2 or 3, as well as getting the 70% damage reduction. Extreme class allies get key 2 and 60% of stats. So he's pretty good for a slot 1 unit for his first turn. He gets 200% defense and guards all attacks. But again, like I said, his links are pretty good, categories are pretty good, but at this state, this is not where you're building the unit. You're building the unit when he transforms into this BROLY, which we actually, have right here. He becomes same thing as a movie boss is key 3, 200% stats. He raises attack and defense on his super for 1 turn, causes colossal damage. Let me see if I can find that really quick. Causes colossal damage to enemy. And then on his 18 key, he greatly raises attack, causes mega colossal damage to enemy. So he raises attack. So you kind of generally want to build him as an offensive like stacker, really. But once he does transform into Legendary Super Saiyan BROLY, his passive becomes Outburst of Instinct. Passive skill key 3 and 260% to attack and defense. Reduces damage received by 50% and for 3 turns from the character's entry turn, plus an additional damage reduction of 26%. I think he has the 50% damage reduction all time, like forever, and he gets the additional 26% for the first 3 turns from the character's entry. Plus an additional attack and defense of 150 when performing a super attack, plus an additional key plus 1 up to 5, and chance of performing a crit plus 10 up to 50% with each attack performed. So again, you're going to generally want to go additionals, maybe dodges on this guy if you really want to, but I really don't think he needs the dodge. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack within the same turn after receiving an attack, plus an additional defense of 200% before attacking, and guards all attacks as the first attacker in a turn. So for the first 3 turns, he has 76% damage reduction, gets 200% extra defense, and has a guard as a slot 1 unit. Launches an additional super attack as a second, third attacker in a turn, plus additional key 3 and chance of performing a crit when there is a Pure Saiyans or Earthbred Fighters category enemy. So right there, he has almost 100% chance to crit if you're facing a Pure Saiyans or Earthbred Fighters. So you really don't need to build this man crit at all. And he disables the enemy's attack action once within the turn when the key is 24. So one thing I forgot to mention early on, his 18 key is an AoE. So with him doing that attack right off the rip and being able to disable enemy action, he's going to be able to stun the whole enemy's team. If you're in a world tournament or if you're in an event with 2 or 3 enemies, he can actually disable one of their actions for that turn. I don't know why I said stun. Can disable them right off the rip. So how I'm foreseeing building this BROLY, since he's a tech unit, he's going to have a built-in 5 crit automatically from his hidden potential. And if you unlock his, if you're at a 79% or 100% build, by the way, 55% builds you can't really do too much with, so that's why I generally don't go too into detail, but 55% builds are going to be somewhat similar, just you're going to have to use skill orbs instead. So with a 55% or 79% or 100% build, I'm going to say go 3 dodge, or 3 crit additional, 3 dodge there. For this is talking top left, 6 additional. And then bottom right, you'll want to go 9 additional, because you'll get 3 more there. 3 more dodge, so you'll do 9 additional, 5 crit, 6 dodge. And then 3 more in each additional. So I would go probably 15 additional, 5 crit, and then like 6 dodge is what I'd give this man if he absolutely had to. I see no point in putting anything into crit, since he builds his crit chance with every attack performed. And if you're facing a Pure Saiyans, which a lot of the enemies are Pure Saiyans or Earthbred Fighters category, you're going to be getting a 50% chance at crit. You pretty much want to avoid crit. You want to go additional, and have that don't know why I stuttered right there. Have that a little bit of chance of dodge with that 6%. So that kind of help you out. It'll give you a 6% chance of dodge when you absolutely need to. So yeah, I'm going to say go additional 15, crit 5, dodge 6, and for his key or skill orbs, I'm gonna say slot 1 probably go. Let me take a look really quick. I'm gonna say maybe go either offensive key orb, like just straight up attack, or maybe like a crit attack or a crit. Or not crit. Why am I saying crit? Additional attack, or maybe like a additional dodge in slot 1. If you really have it, additional dodge might be a pretty decent one to put there, or even just straight additional. Slot 2, again, gonna go probably additional with attack stat or dodge if possible. Again, go down towards that category if you really want to build up the dodge, because again, after that 3 turns does wear off, you will lose that 26% damage reduction, so that little bit of dodge will help. So going additional dodge in all 3 of the bronze, silver, and gold skill orbs will actually probably be more beneficial for you. So yeah, I'm gonna say go additional dodge all across the board with him as well, and don't go anything in crit. So there you guys have it. That is probably my final build for my BROLY as well if I get him to 79%. I'm going to go 15 additional, 5 crit, and 6 in dodge, because I see no point in putting anything into critical at all, especially with the way his passive is built, because you're going to transform him as soon as you get the chance. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys back here for the next video where we cover the new Super Saiyan trio. See you guys then.